fade. I wanna forget you, but you pull me in. I know this ocean is far too wide. I wanna forget you, let me forget you. Push and pull, but you repel me, giving up this fight. Love and hate, we've learned the lines. I'm giving up this fight.
Hi, welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick, and as usual, before we get to the car, please hit the subscribe button and activate the bell icon so you get informed about any new video. And thank you very much Garage Burgseli AG from Goldswil, who actually provided this car to me. You'll find the link in the description below. Alright, so back to the car. And this is a car I've been waiting for quite a long time. I really wanted to get my hands on it, and finally today is the day. Unfortunately, the weather is not too great. We have clouds over Interlaken and there is no sun, even though it was supposed to be sunny today. But the car, this is the 2017 Hyundai Ioniq hybrid. The Ioniq comes in three different, well, not trim levels, but models. You have the hybrid, which we have here, you have the plug-in hybrid, and you have the fully electric one. And Hyundai is actually the first manufacturer in the world who has the same car with three different concepts, so hybrid, plug-in, and electric, which is great. So, the Ioniq starts in Switzerland at 29,990 Swiss francs. Here we have the Launch Edition. There's a Launch Plus, which is the top range one. And there isn't actually much that you can order on top other than, for example, the rims or the paint between the Launch and the Launch Plus, because it pretty much comes with everything on board that you can imagine. Front radar, heated seats, blind spot assistant, lane departure assistant, and. I'm going to tell you all about it later when we drive. This video, however, will be set up differently, as sometimes happens. So I collected this car today. I can't tell you much about how it drives yet and how is the fuel consumption. However, we'll come back to that in 3 days' time with the driving part. Today I'm going to present you the car and the space of it, and where you find which button. So this one has the optional Swiss tech pack on board, which has xenon lights, big xenon lights, navigation, and a few gimmicks inside, and it costs 31,790 Swiss francs. This one comes with a 1.6-liter four-cylinder petrol engine producing 105 horsepower at 5,700 RPM, a maximum torque of 147 Nm at 4,000 RPM. With the e-motor together, combined power output is 141 horsepower and 265 Nm. 0 to 100 time is 10.8 seconds, top speed is 185 km an hour. We have 79 grams of CO2 per kilometer claimed by Hyundai. And what's very interesting about Hyundai in Switzerland is as well, regarding to Ioniq, it has a 3-year 50,000 km service plan. It has a 5-year unlimited kilometer mileage warranty, 8-year or 200,000 km warranty for the battery, and a 12-year warranty against rust. And that is pretty good. So, as usual, I'll show you the first row, second row, the boot space, and as I mentioned earlier, we'll come back in 3 days and we'll do the driving part, and I'll tell you all about it, fuel consumption, which actually you have seen already by now because I put it in the description, and my resume on what I think about the car. Enjoy! Alright, so the Ioniq from inside, and as usual we go from left to right, and we have quite a lot of things to show you. In the Launch Plus edition I would even have more to show you. So, left side open the doors and close the doors, electric mirrors, left and right obviously, to lock the doors, lock the windows. We have automatic windows in the front seats and electric windows in the back. However, you have to keep it pressed. It will not go down if you don't keep the finger on it. Positive thing is, even in the back, the window opens all the way down, and in the front it's auto, as I mentioned, for driver and passenger. Then in the doors we have some space for example, 0.5 liter bottles. Then what I mentioned, in the front and in the back as well, we have this blue accent in the bumper. We have that one here as well around the vents, as you can see here, and the center console. Then on the left, adjustment of the lights. We have the adjustment of the brightness, lane departure system, ESP on and off, release of the fuel cap. Then steering wheel is adjustable in both reach and rake, which is great. Instrument cluster is very clear. We have a central speedo with the fuel gauge for the petrol on the bottom. On the left we have some indicators like light, eco mode, EV mode. On the far left we have a digital display that shows charge, eco and power. And what I like about this is, and even though you switch the digital information screen, you still have it on the left that shows you how you're driving. On the right then we have the information on which gear we have selected, that actually temperature, it's cold, so it's warning you that there might be ice, lane departure assistant, and different things you can switch through. It has drive modes where it tells you 58% of the time I was driving in eco, 41% normal, 1% dynamic. Then further on we have navigation, we have lane departure warning, radio, engine temperature, and the assist systems and all the settings that you can adjust. And on the right side we have then the power of the battery, how much we have left, or the capacity. The steering wheel is a leather with nice stitching, again this blue contrast which we have here as well. Left side voice recognition, go through volume and station, as well as telephone, take and put down. Then you can go through the menu here, and on the right side resume and set for the cruise control, radar and 3 settings, and cancel button. What I like about the steering wheel as well is flat on the bottom. We have this blue accent and a little bit of a silver one. However, this is, well, it feels like plastic. We have auto lights, which are great. I mentioned big xenon in the Swiss tag pack. We have no push start button, regular key, which is okay. Navigation screen and touch screen for different settings. So you have navigation here, then a little bit on information on the flow. So fuel consumption on average on nearly 2,000 kilometers is 5.2 liters, which is actually not bad at all for a petrol powered car. It shows you as well how much you're driving in eco and the energy flow when you're driving, actually how much power is coming from the battery, how much power is coming from the engine. And then you have all the menus, and the good thing is we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And another thing I like is that we have My Menu, so you can actually move the icons that you use mostly and put them in here, which is good. Then physical rocker for the volume, as well as the station change, then shortcut buttons, radio, media, phone, go up and down, map, and so on. On the bottom we have a dual zone air condition, and the great thing I like about this, you can either sync it and have both the same, either individually, or you can put driver only, and obviously only the area on the left side will be heated or cooled, and therefore you'll save more energy as well. Then here the shortcut buttons, obviously for the air conditioning. On the bottom, quite a big part. In the Launch Plus edition, for example, you even have a wireless charging option for your phone, so you just put your phone down and it charges. In the Launch we do not have that. We have a 12 volt power socket, AUX in, USB, and another 12 volts. Then we have an automatic 6-speed DCT, so this is a direct clutch transmission, which is really good. You really don't feel the shifting. It's super smooth and very nice from what I've experienced on the first kilometers. Heated seats for driver and passenger, heated steering wheel. Again, in the Launch Plus you'll have even cooled seats, and you have heated seats in the back as well. Then one cup holder, another cup holder if you leave the ashtray, you don't really need it. One bigger compartment here, armrest with another compartment and another 12 volt power socket. Then the seats are actually very comfortable, give you good side support. From the first kilometers I drove with it. This one is the cloth, however you can get it with leather as well if you get the Launch Plus edition, and then it's going to cost only 300 francs on top of the Launch Plus. Then we have lumbar support, height adjustable seat, which is good, and everyone should find his or her position. Then we have a compartment for the glasses, the lights, We have mirrors on driver and passenger side, and you have a manual button for the light. Again, save a little bit more fuel or electricity if you don't need it during the day. Glove box is actually good size. Just leave all this stuff at home, you don't really need it. And we have another one in the door actually, which is way too much. Then mirror is a manual one, so it doesn't dim itself. You have to do it like this, but actually it's not bad. This is a system that works since 50 years. And we have height adjustable seat belts as well, which is good. All right, first row done. Let's hop on the back and check how much space we have there. All right, so space in the second row on the Ioniq. Seat in front is adjusted to me. I'm 184 tall. You've seen I had plenty of space here. And the same is for the second passengers as well. Headroom I have sufficient, so up to 186, 87 should be fine. Headrest, however, I can't even reach because of my head getting at the roof. Then doors open very wide, I think. Let's close them up. Then we have electric window, as I mentioned. We can bring it down, and the good thing is it opens all the way. Then we have a little compartment in the door where you can put, for example, 0.5 liter bottles. However, they will stick out. Then on the back side of the front seats we have the nets for magazines. Nothing in the center console, no USB, no ventilation, no 12 power sockets. Little shame on that. I wish they would have had this. And seats are actually comfortable. We have an armrest with 2 cup holders, actually 2.5. However, not rubberized, it's just plastic here. And you cannot open towards the boot. This is the highest position for the headrests, which is okay, I would say. However, it shouldn't be taller in the middle than 160, I would say. 3-point seat belts, which is great, and obviously the release for the seats, so you can fold them down. Reading light here, handles. However, we have only one hook, which is on the driver's side in the back. Okay, so that's it. Let's check the boot. All right, so let's get to the boot and the back design of the car. And I have to say, I really like it. It's according to my taste, and obviously the Ioniq is pretty much a competition to the Toyota Prius. If you would like to see the video, we have actually tested the plug-in version of the Prius. I'll just link it on top. And difference to the Prius, for example, is that design is not shouting out as much, I am electric, I am hybrid, I am eco-friendly, and so on. It is a little bit different from the backside, from a usual car. However, overall the car is pretty normal looking, which is actually a positive thing, because most people who would like to switch from a petrol or diesel powered version to a hybrid or electric car don't want to have a car that actually screams out, look at me. So, what do we have? Shark fin antenna on top, red and white lights, which are very nice. Then this one obviously are the winter rims. Usually you can get as well a 17-inch nice alloy wheel that looks even better. Then the rear is actually divided in 3 parts, I would say. We have the top part where we have the glass that actually is broken through kind of the third brake light and part of the car. And you have the second window below, which actually helps you maneuver, especially when you drive backwards. For that we have as well a reverse camera, which is great. You'll find it on the left side here. Then the lights, red and white, I really like them. Hyundai writing left, hybrid on the right, Hyundai logo and Ioniq in the middle. Parking sensors, and this is the third part, basically the black one, which is nice contrast to the body color as well. What you will see as well is everywhere these blue accents. You'll see them in the front, in the back and on the side and throughout the car a little bit, which shows the eco-friendly hybrid. Alright, so let's open it up. See, the boot opens quite high, I would say. No problem, you're not going to bang your head. We have a cover that is manual cover. However, it actually supported, so it runs through some railing, so it will not get stuck somewhere on the way. Now, loading height is kind of high, and obviously you have to lift it down again, which is part of the design. Boot space is 505 liters, up to more than 1,500 liters if you fold down the seats. We can fold the seats left and right separately, and we have a little light on the right side, subwoofer on the left, and if you open the cover you'll have a compressor kit and a little bit more storage facility over there. So that's pretty much it, nothing else to show you. Let's close this one, let's close the boot, and now let's drive. Okay, so for you it was just 1 second, for me it was actually 3 days. and I drove the car now for 410 kilometers. I'm still testing it today, but I have to finish the video as well for you guys. Okay, so what is my resume? What do I think about the car? I am actually not surprised, but I'm actually positively attracted to this car. Let's call it this way. I think actually it's a really, really good car. Yeah? And what Hyundai managed to develop here with the hybrid, I would love to test the plug-in as well and the full electric one, but the hybrid already is a really great car. Now, not everything is great. A few things that I would like to criticize or mention as well are the following. So, cruise control is great. It started at 30 kilometers an hour. I mentioned, however, lane departure assistant only starts at 60. Would be nice if it would be at least 50, so you could still use it in city traffic. But again, it's made for highway, so I do kind of understand. Still would have been nice at 50. I love all the information that this car gives you in regards to information, you know, different screens. This screen with the fuel consumption. Actually, it just climbed up to 4.6. I had it at 4.5, so maybe it's gonna go down. However, things every time you start a car, it's cold. First 2 minutes, obviously the batteries need to heat up, and that is being done through the normal heating. So if you drive without the heating on, the batteries won't heat, and therefore you'll drive longer in petrol mode. So ideally, you do turn on the heaters, which I have. Good thing is that this car has heated seats and heated steering wheel, because it's great, especially when the car is cold. Maybe you park it outside. I have it in the garage, however the garage is kind of cold as well. The only advantage is that it's dry and it cannot snow on it, obviously. And so there's no stretching ice in the morning. And therefore I recommend you start heating the car very early, as fast as possible. But the heated seats and the heated steering wheel help a lot, because they instantly get warm, and it's such a great thing to have, especially in cold environment. Now, one thing that, for example, I miss is that it shows me actually not the instant fuel consumption, because that I see here or in the screen here. Let me see here. However, it gives me a summary at the end of every drive when I switch off the car. I would like to see that information on time in one of the screens, and that it doesn't have. This one is not bad, I like it, but at the same time this car is, or Hyundai is claiming this car is using only 3.7 liters or 3.4 liters on 100 kilometers. So why does it show me 10, 20, 30 liters per 100 kilometers? Why do I need this? I just need 1 to 10, that's it. And everything above would be just out of range. But this is kind of useless and stupid, because I can't really see where am I just see the average consumption with 4.6, the blue line, and I can see below or above, but sometimes it's so close you can't really actually see it. And I would like this to be switched to maximum 15, or not even 10. Yeah, 0 to 10. Everything above I don't care, because you can see even in the cold start I don't go above 10. So why do I need 20 and 30? Who will drive a hybrid Hyundai Ioniq full throttle? No one. Now, the good thing, the positive thing, is, as you've seen in the beginning, when I showed actually a picture, or I told you, I had 5.2 here when I picked up the car. I brought it down to 4.6, and was actually 4.5 until just now. And I believe I can get it even lower. I read online on forums that there are people driving this car with less than 4 liters. However, there will be a tunnel coming in a moment, so we're gonna come back with that after the tunnel. Stay tuned. Now, fuel consumption. I mentioned some people drive it below 4. I did not manage it, because it is actually 4 to 8 degrees outside currently the last 3 days. I am driving on winter tires, and obviously I have heater on and so on. But I managed 4.0 liters, and not to fool you, I'll show you the picture, because this is the summary. Sorry I had to take it with the phone, but this is the summary after drive 2 nights ago. Yesterday I tried to beat it, I wasn't successful, but I managed 4.1 liters. Now, if you consider that I managed this in winter time, with heating on, with lights on, because it was night drive as well, so obviously there's some power going to the lights, this is a pretty amazing figure in regards to fuel consumption. And the highest I managed was 4.8 only, and this was on the first day or first drive when I still tried to figure out how and what and where. So, if you think about this fuel consumption in winter, you can obviously imagine how low I could go, me personally, in summertime. I believe I could get this car to 3.7, 3.6. I'm certain of it. Now, board computer is pretty good. I really like this one here, where it shows you actually that this now, for example, we drive an EV, you have an EV mode, you see this one here. So you have actually 3 screens that show you this. So we have EV in green, we have display here, and we have this one. This is actually the same, these two. And then we have an echo, well, niveau, echo points, whatever you want to call it. I have not managed at 8, 7 was the highest. I think when I picked it up it was at 4, so which is already pretty good. Then what I like, for example, about the navigation is, when I click on navigation, it will tell me the last 4 routes that I navigated to right away when I click into the navigation, which is great. For example, if I drive every day back to work and to work and back, I always use navigation. Just it tells me if there's any traffic situation or whatever, and I have approximate time when I arrive, which is good to know when you want to go to work and you don't want to come late. And we have an auto zoom function which you can turn on here. We have a 3D function. It's really good. It gives me a lot of information. I have it always on quiet, on silent. I just want to have it the information here, but you can obviously put on a voice as well. Now, we do not have an RPM gauge. We only have this charge, echo, and power. I did read online that if you put it in sport, there is somewhere RPM gauge, but I'm not quite sure if it was for the hybrid or maybe the plug-in. Obviously, the electric won't need it. Now we can just accelerate now. And now we go into power mode, and obviously we will use a lot of fuel now, which you don't want to do. So just keep it in echo. The best thing is, in the echo you have 6 echo, 5 power, and I think, or 6 power and 6 charge. As long as you keep it in echo below 4, at 3 it will switch into electric mode. Not up the hill, but downhill. We're gonna be in a moment, it will switch to electric. And I think I managed yesterday going a little bit downhill and then going on, on a flat area around 2.5 kilometers. It was driving purely electric in EV mode. I like the steering wheel that's flat on the bottom, so it gives it more space. I love the fact that you have this driver-only air conditioning button. So if I drive alone, which is most of the time, I don't need to heat this area. In the back we do not have vents, that would be nice to have, and there's pretty much no connectivity in the back, no air flow in the back. That is one thing that could have improved, if you have air vents in the back and USB port or 12 volt power socket. We have 2 in the front, 1 in here, and we have 1 USB. USB works perfect with the phone as well, supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And a good thing is, for example, I listen to a lot of online radio from back home in Germany, and when I plug it in, I have the app just in the background, not even running. It will automatically switch to that app and turn on the music, which is really great. I really like that. Now, adaptive cruise control works really fine. I like it. You have 4 settings that you can adjust here on the steering wheel. One thing that is missing as well is we don't have auto lights. I mean, we have auto lights, but not auto high beam. And I like it this way better because at least the lights go on, but I would have loved if it would have been equipped with auto high beam as well. Because this way it would be super comfortable to drive in the night. You wouldn't have to worry about switching on and off the high beam. Then, other than that, I really, really enjoyed driving this car, and I was amazed by the fuel consumption. And it's a totally different driving from driving a sports car or anything. For example, my private car is an Abarth, which is a small, hot hatch kind of thing, and it's completely different drive. There, it's all about the fun of acceleration, sound, and noise, and you know, driving corners and so on. Here, it's actually the commute and the challenge to actually drive with as least fuel as possible, and that is so rewarding when you actually arrive somewhere and then you see you beat your previous fuel consumption. It's really fun. Not for everyone, but for me this is really fun. It's constantly challenging you to look ahead, see where's traffic, where can you go off the cruise control, how can you know, save a little bit more fuel here and there, and I think it's really great. Seats are great, comfortable. Question for you is now in Switzerland, would you buy the Launch or would you buy the Launch Plus? Again, the difference is the Launch Plus will have cooled seats as well in the front, heated seats, outer seats in the back, and 2-3 most things, and the option to actually get leather seats for 300 francs extra. If you want to spend the additional money for the Plus, that's up to you. I think this one is already very great. However, do take the Swiss Tech Pack and do get the xenon lights, big xenon lights, and navigation. Other than that, there's nothing else you really need. And with a fuel consumption of that low, this is a perfect commuter car, especially taking into consideration that you have 5-year unlimited mileage warranty. Yeah, 8 years and 200,000 kilometer warranty on the battery pack, and first 3 years of 50,000 kilometers free service basically. For me, there's a double thumbs up. If I would have more than 2, I would give it. Really great car, really enjoyed driving it. I can only highly recommend it. So, thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you're informed about any new videos. Comment below, share the video, like it, ask any questions, and if you would like to maybe test drive this car, then please contact Garage Burgseli AG in Goldswil, where I got this car from. You'll find the link in the description. Okay, I wish you a great day. See you next time. Bye.